Welcome, good people. Well, things are heating up even more, just like you knew they would at the Diddy trial, with Diddy's ex-assistant, Mia, her pseudonym, returning to the stand, being cross-examined by Brian Steele, and the dragging has begun. The pressure is on. And one of the first things that happened is that the defense fought to have new evidence brought in for the jury to see, and this would be a video of Diddy's 44th birthday. The video shows Mia getting her lip gloss on and with all of her swag, blowing a kiss to Diddy, telling him what a great inspiration that he is. And of course, it's just a big loving expression. So the defense wants to impress upon the jury that this is Mia's true demeanor. This is her true posture, and she has a whole nother level of strength and reality, not the meek, mild, almost weak in appearance, even from these court sketches. That's what we're seeing. Well wishes, the very loving expressions for Diddy. And Diddy's 44th birthday would mark the anniversary of the first, or one of the very first, assaults that Mia claims happened to her at the hands of Diddy. The prosecution didn't want this in, but it was approved to be shown to jurors. So we are there. And Mia walked in. From the time she hits the courtroom, she doesn't look at anyone. She doesn't look at the jurors. She doesn't look at the reporters. She doesn't look at the judge. She doesn't look at Diddy. No one. She just hightails it right to that chair and sits down and resumes the position with her head down. I even heard that it looks like she's actually playing with something, fidgeting with something in her lap. She seems like she's nervous all the time, from what I understand. It must be rough. It's got to be rough. And defense attorney Brian Steele also just jumps right in without any pleasantries, good morning or none of that, and just lays in right into Mia's resume. Her bullet points in her resume says that she's worked with other celebrities. She knows how to prepare their studios, to keep their inventory the way they want it, that she has a thick skin. She's multilingual, not bilingual, multilingual. She knows how to work long hours. She knows how to be a team player. She coaches others on how to stand up for themselves, basically coaching people to have a backbone. Yeah, stand up for yourself. And then Brian Steele moves on to what I think is the meat and potatoes of what the position the defense has. And they come with the pictures, the text, the resumes, the video. And here we are arriving at the text messages. The first one from December 27th of 2018, a text message sent by Mia when she is now an ex-employee of Combs Enterprise. She sends Diddy a Merry Christmas. Love you so, so, so much. I don't know how many so's in there, more than two. And Diddy, a couple of days later, responds, same to you. Not really a big sentiment. Then another week later, Mia sends a Happy New Year message. And sometime later, she writes Diddy another text message saying that she had a nightmare, that she was trapped in an elevator with R. Kelly, and you came to my rescue, you being Diddy. Brian Steele said, you testified that this man caused you PTSD. Why would you write something like that? Then he goes on to talk about a text message sent on March of 2019, where she said, sending you all the love in the world. And Brian Steele pointed out at this point, you weren't under Mr. Combs' spell at this time, and you weren't under his employ. Mia responds saying, yeah, but it was psychological because Kim Porter had just died. And Brian Steele said, well, that was 5 months before. And Mia, from all accounts, was kind of nervous throughout. She was stumbling over her words. This has to be a high pressure situation for her. Brian still keeps going on with the text, another text, 2019, New Year's. Again, another text, May 14th, 2020. And the jury's getting bored. I hear about yawns, but he's just coming like rapid fire. He drove the point home that you're not in this man's employ, and he's not even really interested in you. He's not keeping tabs on you, but you are taking all these occasions to try to interact with this man. In some of the reporting, there's complaints about how hard hitting Brian Steele was, that it was just maybe just a little bit too hard. But that's what the defense is there to do. They're there to bring it home for Diddy. And we knew this day would come. I'm surprised that it took this long. But Brian Steele also brought up that Mia was active in the Me Too movement, vocal at least. He asked her if she ever wrote any notes to herself or journaled or texted her family about these things that she was going through, the brutalization, the violence of Sean Diddy Combs, the unprofessionalism. Did you ever get any recordings of one of these tirades that he was supposedly on, one of these outbursts? And she had to answer no, no, no to everything. And of course, the question continues to come up, and it'll come up again. Why were you there? She even attended a Burning Man with Diddy. I mean, this was part of her testimony while the prosecution had her on the stand. And she said that at that point, she was forced to use illegal substances. I'll just say it like that. Actually, from everything I understand about Burning Man, I've never been there, but that's a lot of what goes on there. That's like the majority. Actually, I had some associates going there, and that's one of the things they were looking forward to is all the partying and the pharmaceuticals. I don't get down like that, by the way. But she said the highs were high, the lows were low, and she constantly wanted his approval. And evidently, even after she was employed with him, she still wanted his approval. Why? I don't know. But the judge, even though there's reports about the government feeling like Brian Steele was harsh, and even some of the observers felt the same way, the judge did not agree. So it seems that Brian Steele was just trying to be very obvious that he wanted to paint Mia out as a liar, that her story was not true. Going back to Diddy's position that anything that happened sexually was consensual. Any intimacy between women was consensual with him. The judge felt that Brian Steele was totally in line, and Brian Steele kept hammering away. I mean, this is a battle royale. This man is fighting for his life, and it will go on. It will continue. I will come back with commentary as Mia wraps up her testimony. Thanks for joining me. Y'all drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Next time, I'm sure I'll be on camera. I just wanted to get this out to you. Till I see you the next time. Peace.